I believe we can start, and if someone else joins, it's great. Just as a short intro from my side, first of all, welcome everyone, and welcome Nemanja on behalf of Women on Board Zadria. It's our pleasure to have you here with us and for this third workshop online training for our members. As you well know or might know, and as you could have seen on our social media, Nemanja Zivkovic is strategic consultant for B2B tech and software as a service companies, founder of Funky Marketing and co-founder of the business community Business Talks Network. He brings extensive experience to the table and to this training today, building customer relationships through LinkedIn as a key platform. Hopefully, he will help us all today leverage LinkedIn to grow our personal brands and advance our careers. In fact, fun fact, his approach to community building on LinkedIn also brought him a recognition by LinkedIn itself, and they named him a rising marketing star in 2023. So before I give in the stage to Nemanja, I would kindly ask you please to remain muted unless you have some questions for Nemanja. And please, if it's possible, state where you're from in the group chat so Nemanja gets a better picture on where our audience is coming. And from my side, that's all for the beginning, and I hope that you will enjoy the training for today. Nemanja, I give my words to you.
Thanks, Ivan. Now I get to control the narrative and everything. So thanks, Veljko. I want to ask all of you to say something about you. Feel free to do it in the chat if you want to. I'm sure all of you are more successful than I am, but I happen to know this one thing that I can share with you and show you how you can actually show all the things that you all already know and do. So before we start, I would like to ask all of you to turn on the cameras. You don't need to have them turned on all the time, but let's do it at the beginning, just so we can see our shiny faces. And please take a screenshot or a photo, whatever it is. I'll tell you later why. And all of us also wants to have a photo from the session, right? Nice. So many people coming from different areas. Most of you here in the region. Okay, let's wait for a few more people. If you're listening, let's turn on the camera so we can finish with this part, and then we can actually start. Until that happens, I'm gonna give you a quick intro. Today we're gonna talk about personal branding to define what it is. And the basics, and then we're going to move on to LinkedIn and talk about how you can actually show your expertise and build your personal brand on LinkedIn. It's been a fun morning as one of the people who is well recognized in the community globally was sharing that LinkedIn is a pyramid scheme and you don't need to do it. To create it in a way that, you know, it's based on a thin air, and of course you don't. So that will be kind of an intro where we're gonna go. I'm just admitting more people who are joining. Okay, I guess a lot of people don't want to turn on the cameras, so we'll have to deal with that. But it is what it is. Let's see. It's going to be a very practical workshop today, as I'm going to share the screen and guide you through LinkedIn and all that's happening over there to show you exactly where you need to edit something, what you need to do over there, and how you should actually do some of the things. And we'll have time to create a roadmap. Each person will create a roadmap for themselves. I will give you the guidance. Just so, you know, maybe you don't want to become active now on LinkedIn, but maybe in the future you want to become active. So you have this on the side in a drawer and you take it out whenever you feel like it's time to go and do that. So first of all, let's start with defining what personal branding is. I like to use two definitions to define it. One is that it's basically your reputation digitalized. All of you already have reputation looking at your position inside the companies, but a lot of people these days, including you, don't have this thing digitalized, right? You maybe have a LinkedIn profile. Maybe it's, I looked at profiles of all of you. It's fairly optimized, but we can do a couple of more tweaks to make it more approachable, more interesting, and more able to get attention from the audience, from the people you want to have the attention on exactly the right things on your profile. Let me just admit a few more people. Okay, I think now we're good. The second definition is that personal brand makes you the CEO of the brand called you by your name, right? And that second part is extremely important because we usually say that if you keep doing the good work, keep doing the good stuff, sharing results, you will have a brand. You won't. That second part is the thing that helps you actually control the narrative and guide your brands towards your goal. We build personal brands for a lot of different things. It can be that maybe we want to get higher inside the hierarchy inside the company and get in another position. So that's something that we want to show that we know things that more than than our current position requires. The second one is maybe we want to change professions, to change companies. We are maybe looking for a new job, so we want to share that and go into that direction. Maybe we want to become speakers or maybe authors or something like that. So we want to establish ourselves and the name in that direction. Or maybe we want to become entrepreneurs. So that's also something that is happening, and that's another goal. And it's totally different building a personal brand from the business perspective and building a personal brand if you are, I don't know, like Ryan Gosling, the actor, or somebody else. It's totally different. So from that side, we get to LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn and why we are talking about LinkedIn? LinkedIn is actually the platform which is #1 business platform in the world. It's also #1 platform in the region, and it will stay like that for, I would say, like at least next 10 years. Everything in B2B business, in business to business, is happening over there. And if you don't have a profile, if you don't have the optimized profile, you may have problems communicating with other leaders, with C-suites, or with other companies. It happened to me in the past that a client rejected to work with a specific person from the company, which was the most experienced person from the company.
Danilo, aj nazovi Duju, na kolu sam, ne mogu.
Based on their photo, because they have the profile photo, which was from the time when that person, she was in high school and actually had 18 years old. So they say, we are not going to go and work with that person, give us another person. So it actually happened. This is the example that I got from the company I was working with, one of the biggest here in the region. So people look at all those kind of things. In the US, it's part of the corporate culture, and it's becoming part of the corporate culture here also to have an established LinkedIn profile. And just by optimizing your profile the right way, meaning fill in all the segments on the profile, you are getting 20% more visibility. At least that's what LinkedIn says, and that's what the latest research says. So having that in mind, let's see in the chat what's your goal when it comes to LinkedIn. Are you there to get new business? Are you there to get more speaking gigs, or you are there just to increase the visibility of your company? It can be something else, but let me see that in the chat. What's your goal? Now, LinkedIn has this mission statement. If you go and Google LinkedIn mission, you will see that, and a lot of people are not aware of it, which says connecting the world's professionals and make them more connected and successful. Meaning connecting, right? That's one thing, meaning relationship, because in business to business and in business in general today, you need to create a relationship with people. And then you have to make them more productive and successful, meaning education, right? If you are sharing knowledge, if you are helping others, LinkedIn helps you grow. And those are the two things that you need to know when it comes to LinkedIn and how it works. I'm going to give you exact steps how to go about that, but make sure not to forget that thing in any moment in time. Okay, I see that you want to increase visibility. I see that you want to do the networking. That's great. So when it comes to LinkedIn, I'm going to tell you only this more thing, and I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to dive deeper into it. I'm not going to use presentation today, but tomorrow you're going to get the presentation, so you can actually go through all these things. The most important thing when it comes to LinkedIn is look at it as you look your business or your position today. When you go to Google and you Google your name, if you don't have a website, you will first see your link to your LinkedIn profile. And I'm saying this just for you to be aware that more people will see that than if you appear on the news on the television. More people will see your LinkedIn profile or find you in Google search than they will see you if you appear on the link on the national television, right? So have that in mind. And in case you want to build your personal brand, I would advise you outside of LinkedIn to just create a landing page, a simple landing page with your name and surname. Do that. I didn't do that. And I'm advising you now not to make the mistake that I made previously. Right now, I have Nemanja Zivkovic, which is pretty common name and surname in Serbia, and so we have a volleyball player, we have an actor, we have different people, and you cannot, if you are a business person, you cannot compete with sportsmen or sports ladies, right? When it comes to that. So have that in mind. And the second thing is LinkedIn profile, right? If you're a company, your foundation is your website. And on that website, it needs to look as a sales outlook. I usually say that when you go, people already know who you are, what you do. They come to the website and then convert. On LinkedIn, your profile is your sales page or your landing page. And always think from that perspective. So when somebody comes to the landing page, what do? They need to do specific actions that you want them to do to be able to convert. No matter if the conversion is scheduling a meeting or looking at video or sending you a message or whatever it is, or proving that you know what you're doing. Right? Those can all be the conversions, but you need to know exactly what you want people to do when they come to your LinkedIn profile. So that's something to think of. Then when we create content, when we connect with people, when we engage, this is actually the content that has one goal, and that is to get people to the landing page, to our LinkedIn profile, when they will convert, right? So always think from that perspective. No matter if you're not selling now, you're creating a relationship with people, and in a year, in 2, in 3 years, you don't know what will happen. Or somebody is always watching, and you need to remember that. So let me now share my screen. One thing that I need to say when I share my screen, I don't know if I will see the chat. So anytime you have a question, please unmute yourself, stop me, and ask the question. So don't be shy. I'm here to answer all of the questions, and I'm the guy who went really deep on LinkedIn on all those kind of things. And I think I know every nuance or small little thing about the platform and how it works, and I can really help you, and that's why I'm here. So have that in mind and try to use me as much as possible today to get all the information that you need. Okay, I think I will be able to see even the chat. So I will use my profile to show you how things work. So you come to the landing page, you come to your profile. What is the first thing that you see? When you see somebody, let me first get it. When you see somebody in the feed, for example, what do you see? You see the headline, at least the part of it, and you see the name, the surname, and you see the profile picture. So this is the first thing you need to think about. How does my headline look like in the feed, and does it attract people to go and check on my profile? So think about that. Now let's move to the profile and let's analyze. So when they come to your profile, they already seen your photo. And it needs to be professional. It needs to reflect who you are and what you do. A lot of you have great profile photos. I need to say that because I checked all your profiles. But one thing I want to make sure that all of you know, because not all of them are perfect, you need to look straight ahead, possibly smile a little bit, and it needs to be a high quality photo. So when it comes to how you need to be perceived, usually what I say, you need to go under the shoulders with a photo. I'm now experimenting with something, so that's why I have this profile photo, but yours should be like this, right? Always have that in mind and leave some space outside of it. If you can, change the background of the profile photo so it slightly goes into the cover photo, or you can add white around your photo or whatever it is, the brand color that you are representing, so it stands out. When it comes to the cover photos, that's something that not all of you have perfectly sorted out. A lot of you don't have the cover photos. So I'm inviting you to think about your cover photo and go and edit there. Now, we have different opinions about that, especially you working in corporations. Should we have the cover photo that represents the company and everybody employed in the company should have it? Or should we have something that's unique to us? And it all depends. If you're building a personal brand, I always say it's okay to have a little bit different cover photo than everybody else from the company. It doesn't have to be a lot different. It can be just a slightly different color or different variation of the cover photo, but use the cover photo to say exactly what you are doing and urge people to go, when they already come here, to go and check out your headline again. So don't have it just blank, just a photo or whatever it is, or a nice beach, weather, forest, whatever it is. Maybe add some logos, add something that's important to you, maybe the tagline of the company if you want to represent the company. So think from that perspective, right? It's important because it's a huge wall over there and you don't want to have it just as with a random photo. When it comes to the headline, a lot of you also have great headlines, but they're a little bit generic. And I'm saying that because, you know, when you go and you start working in corporations, usually what we do, right? You don't want to stand out, you want to blend in, and you just say, for example, your position, or you said exactly, we had one example, one of you added all the important keywords. Keywords are important for the headline, and you should have the keywords. What do I mean by that? When somebody goes into this search and looks for you, you want to know exactly what they will type to find your profile. So think from that perspective. What do you want people to type in to find your name, to find your profile? And add those keywords inside the profile. We will keep mentioning the keywords moving forward and the way we optimize the profile, but have that in mind always. What I want you to think about is what makes you unique as a company, as a person, whatever it is. Add something which is a little bit personal here to stand out. For example, I have this with a bit of funk. My company is called Funky Marketing, so I always said, transform your marketing into revenue engine with a bit of funk, right? Add something that will stand out and that will make people remember you. Don't be forgettable, right? If you have just, I don't know, CFO or VP of marketing or whatever it is in the headline, people can see that. People can see your position. It's down there in the work experience section. So maybe explain what do you do when it comes to your position. What do you as a CFO do in the company? Literally translate that into the headline. Now moving down, there is one thing we also need to remember, that you have add custom button link. Use it to add something that it can be a link, it can be a premium custom button, which is, the LinkedIn allows you to say, visit my store, my website, my portfolio, blog, appointment, subscribe to newsletter, whatever it is you choose, but use it. I've chosen to go and click when somebody clicks about it. It will make people go to the recommendation section on LinkedIn. And they can actually see what other people are saying about me and about experience working with me and those kind of people. I think that can be very useful for a lot of you. As you are working with people who have authority, who knows what they're all about, it can help you a lot. We'll see how you can use that, but think from that perspective. If you have more than 500 connections, you don't see the number of connections here, you see just number of followers. So think about that. Also, what I want you to look at is this one, the link to my profile. I don't have random numbers in the username, and you can do it too. And I wanted to show you how you can do it. See on the right side, we have public profile and URL. Click here. It actually leads you to the way your profile looks like when somebody outside of you is looking at it. You can actually make sure that it shares everything that you want to share, and it is not sharing things that you don't want it to share. So what I always recommend to you, go and make sure that you have name, number of connections, number of followers, and the region added. When it comes to profile photo, make sure that it is public, not limited to your network or LinkedIn members, but public. What does it mean? It means that when somebody outside of LinkedIn sees your profile, they can actually see your profile photo. You want to have that, not so they don't see that gray without face or without anything. And here you can check all the sections and make sure that they are all okay. You can exclude some of them. Make sure to think about what you want to share and optimize for that. But this is where you see all of this. Also, when it comes to that number and adding the link, this is where you can actually do it. Why would you have some strange numbers in your username when it can be professional and it can say your surname and your name? Well, maybe you are late, somebody took it over, but you can do it as, adding the bracket or whatever it is and make it a little bit different, right? So, okay. Any questions so far? Yes, no, I think I don't see the chat, so I would guess that there are no questions. Oh, okay, I can actually see it down. You don't have all the button. Yeah, maybe it is still limited to paid, but you will have it. That's also something, Željko, thanks for reminding me. I would like to encourage you to have a paid LinkedIn profile for one single reason. You can see every person that comes to your profile. and you have the ability to hide your profile when you are visiting other people's profiles. So they don't see that you came to their profile and visited their profile. I don't know if you can see that I visited all of your profiles today, but if I stick longer than 20 seconds, it says that that I visited your profile. So have that in mind as well. If you're looking for a new job, you can also add this option open to work. It can be seen just by recruiters, or you can make it seen by everybody. Also something to think about. Now, let's move forward. We look the analytics later, but about section is something that not many of you have done well. And look at the about section as the about section on the website. What does it mean? It means about you is actually about them, right? About you is about them. As you can see, when somebody comes to the about section, they can see only 3 rows. And then it's see more. See more is one of the most important CTA's call to actions on LinkedIn. Why? Because the algorithm and LinkedIn itself want to see what interests you, and you want to make people click to see more. When you click them, when they click to see more, they will read the rest of the about section. Also, it goes along for the posts as well, and they will stick longer to your profile. If they stick longer to your profile, it gives the signal to the LinkedIn that they actually care about what you are presenting over there, and it will show you more of that person inside the feed, and it will show you to that other person in the feed as well. So think about the first 3 rows of the about section should be why somebody cares to click on see more, and it should be the continuation of what you wrote on the cover photo and in your headline. So somebody comes to your profile, they see the cover photo, they see the headline, then they scroll down, and then they see about section. So it should be the continuation of that, right? Make them think. A lot of you go and say, experienced that and that. A lot of you are starting the about section with that. It looks like it is written by ChatGPT or AI, to be honest. And in today's world, you want to do anything that is unlike ChatGPT. You want to stand out and do some things uniquely, just like you. And then you have a lot of space here. I think it's 6,000 characters. And think about it from that perspective. Use all the space that you have and write then about yourself. So make a hook for them to click on see more, and then elaborate. What do you do? What's your experience? All those stuff. And at the end, I advise you to add something personal. You know, I don't know, if you're a dog lover, or you have a family, or you like to travel, whatever it is, add them at least a little detail to make them connect to you outside of the business, right? Or you are a wine lover, or I don't know, something like that. Let me give you an example of that. I work with a company, and lady who was officially the COO was also somebody who handles marketing, sometimes help with HR, does a lot of different stuff. And when I asked her, you know, what do you actually do? She said, I'm the fucking octopus. Sorry for cursing. So what we did, we said COO, and in the brackets, we said Chief October Officer. So that was written in the headline. When it comes to the about section, it started with, I didn't say I'm the octopus for no reason. Okay. And then she elaborated what she does, everything that she does, years of experience, those kind of things. And at the end, she said, and I'm still not even 40. Actually, it was 50, but you know. So think from that perspective as well. What I usually say about the about section, go ahead and write in a Google Doc or Word or whatever you're using, 1 page, talk about yourself, whatever you want to say. Then shortening up to the half a page, add a headline, and that's what you get inside the About section. So that's the second sales page on your website and the second sales page inside the landing page on LinkedIn. That's how you should look at it. Now, when you add all those things, LinkedIn suggests you the top skills based on your work experience and based on what you wrote in the About section. That's AI doing. Check if those are the right skills and make sure that you have the right skills you want people to recognize you. Always go with top 3 that you want people to remember you for, and that you want them to know that this is where you want to go, right? This is what I know, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to achieve. So look from that perspective. Now, featured section, that's a very interesting one because I think it's probably the most important, but I think I found only one of you to have it. Maybe a few more, but I remember one of you because I don't remember the names, but one of you had it done really great. A lot of people forget about the feature section, and that's basically window shopping, right? That's the place on LinkedIn outside of that custom button that I mentioned at the beginning on top of your profile. There's the second one when you can add links for people to go outside of LinkedIn. LinkedIn, just as other platforms, don't want you to leave. But this is the place when it allows you to take people outside of the platform. So make sure that here you have, for example, link to the website, link to, I don't know, important interview, if you gave it, or something that's important for you, for people to share. Maybe you were speaking at a conference, those kind of things. Maybe you received an award, all of it. This is one of the services that I'm offering. Then I have the newsletter. Then we have the link that to the podcast. Then I was one of the top 10 rising stars of marketing world pronounced by LinkedIn in 2023, and then I was a guest on other podcasts. It goes on and on. But there is one thing, and I actually saved that post to give you, and it's number one thing that you should remember and do on LinkedIn. Maria Dukovska-Pavlovska did it, and trust is the key. Right? You need to create the trust on LinkedIn, and your profile should go in that direction. You want people to feel trustful, that they can trust you to do the job, trust you as a person with experience, as somebody who have the authority in the field. So think from that perspective. Now, activity is a very interesting one. Because of the reason that we see everything that we do on LinkedIn. So no matter if you are liking, commenting, posting, or not doing anything, we can see it all. Anybody that comes to your profile can see it all. And it reflects our opinion about that person. It reflects our opinions about you. Are you just reposting from the company page? If you are, it basically means that you are the company bot. Why should anybody follow you, connect with you? If you are reposting with adding your perspective, that's something else. Right? So think about it. If you have a premium profile, you can actually change what you want people to see first. Is it posts? Are those comments? Are those videos? Images, newsletter, or something else. So you can decide what you want them to look first. Also, not to forget one thing, if you have a premium profile, you can add a recommendation from the bottom to the featured section. If not, you have to try to do something else. Let me show you how it looks like when you have a paid and when you have them over there. Or did I remove it? Let's see. Yeah, here's one recommendation from Ivana, founder of the AutoRap, one of the tools that I'm going to present you later. But featured with premium, and it actually makes people see it over there. I have two more, so okay. When it comes to the activity part, we're going to talk about posting, commenting, engaging a little bit later, but I want to get into this one. If you don't want to post actively on LinkedIn and become a creator and be somebody who posts daily, maybe you want to create a newsletter, and once in a month, you can share your learnings, outcomes, and all those kind of things. And that is something that I think will be very useful to all of you as you talk with a lot of people, do a lot of stuff, you have a lot of experience. And, just once a month, at least sharing an article, because that's basically an article with subscribers, it makes you stand out and it makes people remember you, that you are there once a month. And when you start the newsletter, what LinkedIn does is basically send notifications just like this one to your connections and asking them to subscribe to your newsletter. So you instantly get subscribers. And the best thing of all is that when you create the newsletter and you publish it, LinkedIn send notification to each of the people who subscribe that you have the newsletter, but also it sends them an email that the new edition of your newsletter is out. Just something to think about. Now let's move to the experience. That's also an area a lot of you can improve. First of all, you want to list all the experiences that you have that are relevant to where you want to go. You don't want to have all of them, just those who are the most important for you, for your future plans. And having that in mind, we all want to see how did you get to the position where you are, right? Have that climbing journey when we can actually see that. And that brings me to the mistake that I saw a lot of you are making, and it is talking about in the description here of the position, you talk about the company. So you say like funky marketing, you're going to say what funky marketing is. If you go down Business Talks Network, you're going to say what Business Talks Network is. Or you're going to have bullets that share exactly what you did, what your position required. Usually what I see is people have bullets about what position required when they start working on a position, because that's when they write it on LinkedIn. That's okay. If you want to have it like bullets, that's okay. Just have the things that you learned over there. But I want to encourage you to do something else. If you actually want to stand out, and since you are here, I guess you do, write it as a story. So what happens while you were in this position? You started working with this company, this was your starting position, and you move on to learn those kind of things. Those are the results that you achieved, and it brings you to now. So when you do that, somebody can go to your previous position and actually move upwards and see, okay, this is actually the CV and bio, and actually seeing much more than just the position and what those companies do. Actually see what that person achieved in those companies and why it mattered to her and why it mattered to the company. So think from that perspective. You can also add presentations, links, link to the website, to some videos, whatever it is that you think it's important for those positions. Also, when you edit, just like in the about section, you have these skills. For each position, LinkedIn offers you a chance to set what are the skills that you gained while working there. So you can add those skills one by one, and you can actually tie skills to certain working experiences that you have. Extremely important, because you are telling stories on your profile. It makes people, I told you one of the most important signals is how much do you spend time on specific places on LinkedIn. So on your post, on your profile, you want people to stick around a little bit longer and stay. So this is something that you want to go. Education, of course, you can add your education, licenses, certifications, those kind of things. I'm not gonna focus on that, but LinkedIn, for some reason, left recommendations at the bottom. So if you don't do something to move them upwards, people won't ever find them. So you need to think from that perspective. And recommendations on LinkedIn are extremely important. Why? Because you can see exactly who is the person who gave you a recommendation and what do they do. You can see the headline. You can see actually when they added and in which position were they at the time, in which company. Did you work in the same company? Did you work with different companies, with the same group? All those nuances, but it's a great thing to start the conversation. Right? You all have experience. I bet you don't have recommendations from all the people that you learned from and all the people that you taught something, all the people that you manage. So I would advise you to go and ask from that people to give you recommendations. It's also a good thing if you want to reach out to somebody who can help you in a way. Give them recommendations, said, hey, I don't know, Milica, you maybe don't know me, but I've been following you from how your journey goes. I learned a lot from you. And then you say maybe some examples. I don't know, the job that you did at ProCredit Bank or whatever it is. I love what you did there. I heard a lot of great stories and you influenced me and empowered me to go, inspire me to do something. So you give her a recommendation. Then it comes into her inbox. She sees it, and then she said, okay, let's start a conversation. So it's a nice way to start a conversation when you empower somebody and give them their credits. Think about it from that perspective. Now you have honors, awards, and all those kind of things. So let's stop for now and see, do you have any questions? Let me just check because you had some questions, but nobody turned on unmuted themselves to ask.
Nemanja, we have one interesting comment regarding the open to work.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna answer it now. Yeah, open to work. If you have it as that green one around your profile photo, yes, it screams desperation. But if you say that you are open to work and only allow recruiters to see that's a different thing, right? Recruiters get the signal that you are open for work. A lot of people are, looking for C-level, for people who have experience, for senior people, and that's the hardest thing to find, right? So this way you are giving them a signal, hey, I'm available, I want to change the company, and maybe you don't want your company to know that you are looking for a new job, right? That's what you do. You limit the visibility of that to the recruiters. And you have the option to say, I want to work in this and this market, I want to do only remote, I want to do only contracts, or I'm looking for a full-time job. All those things are important. You're giving them the signals, and then depends on what they are looking for. They will come to your profile and check out all of these things. So any other questions regarding the profiles?
Yes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nemanja. Regarding the recommendations, I had an experience several times until now that when I asked for a recommendation from a peer or maybe superior at the time, they said, okay, you write it yourself and send it to me. You check it and then you can post it, or write it yourself. I'm okay with it. I will just give it. Don't worry. So how to avoid this situation? Because really, if you do it yourself, it sounds like you and you're repeating yourself, and there is nothing new or creative to add because,
Yeah, it actually gets even worse. They use ChatGPT.
Oh,
everybody uses ChatGPT these times. To be honest, I'm really pissed off because I asked somebody for a recommendation and I see that, they actually send me a message, for example, hey man, a great job. You did a great presentation or whatever it is. And I say, perfect. Can you write me that as a recommendation? And then I see that they gave that prompt to ChatGPT and it turns out generic. Right? So I think there's no middle over there. You just tell them, okay, give me, usually what people ask from you is, what do you want the recommendation to be about? And you maybe give them a hint, like these 3 things are important for me as I'm planning to go to the next level or something like that. And then, maybe they will give them a few sentences and tell them, please add your perspective to it. I think that's the best thing that you can do.
Or maybe they are lazy and just don't want to do
Now,
it.
all of them are lazy. You need to remind them constantly. And one thing that's also important, if you just out of the blue ask a recommendation for somebody, it might be that they don't see it at all in their inboxes. Like LinkedIn inbox is a mess. So make sure to message them again, remind them, or if you have contacts with them outside of LinkedIn, hey, did you check the message I send you, the recommendation request, or those kind of things. So those are all important.
Also, sorry to ask, I don't see the feature
Yeah, let me just
category on my profile. Is that something you get with premium? Because I don't have premium yet.
I'm just trying to unmute Nokutula, because and I don't think I can do that. I think you can unmute yourself. I don't know. Okay, but is ChatGPT wrong to use when, for example, you wanted to refine what you have written? Well, yeah, but it's not a training about ChatGPT. So I said use it as much as you can, but make sure that you edit it so it looks human. That's the most important thing. You want to stand out at least by a few things. Now, somebody said something and I missed it.
I said, but I found it. Don't worry. I'll withdraw the question.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now when we have the profile set up, the landing page, what we want to do is we want to learn who are we connecting with, right? And how are we connecting with people. I'll leave posts for the end. So on LinkedIn, we want to connect with different audiences. First one is obviously our target customers, or no matter what we want to do, we have the target audience. If you want to change position in the company, okay, we know the roles of the people that are there and can get us over there or whatever it is. But that's the first audience. The problem with that audience is that they don't check their messages or connection requests, a lot of them. So, you can go and do it and send it over, but they might never see it, and just a reality. So that's one audience. Another audience are, we call them influencers or the subject matter experts, or there are tons of new names, but those are people that gathers your target audience under their posts. Right, so those are people who your target audience consider influencers or subject matter experts, or people who know what they are doing. And so when they actually post, your target audience gathers around their posts. So what you want to do with that target audience, you want to turn on notifications, bells on their profile. Do you know what it means? Do I need to explain it? Let me share the screen again, and I'll show you. For example, I don't know, anybody. Okay, Amir, and now this is the bell, and this is how you get there when you connect with somebody. LinkedIn automatically says you will get the most relevant post from this person, but it really bugs that feature. So what you want to do, if those are like a couple of people that you want to connect with and get notifications when they post, you go to all notifications and you save that, and then you will basically get here the notifications when they post, right? Like this, they posted. In a couple of days, you will know exactly when they are posting, so you can create your schedule around them and be amongst the first one who are adding the comments, liking, or you're just connecting with people who are engaging with them. You need to send connection requests. There's no way around it. So there's a limit of like 50 per month, I think, and you want to get up until the limit. So that's something that you want to go and achieve over there. The third audience that you want to connect with are actually your peers, people who are like you in the same positions, who are working the same thing that you're doing, people who are going after the same audience. Why? Because those are the people that will help you the most in your career. Those are the people who will recommend you. Those are the people who will react to your posts. Those are the people you chat with, because we all spend, let me know if I'm wrong, but that's my experience so far, that we spend more time engaging with our peers than we are actually doing our job. And that actually comes with the times that we live in. So you want to make sure that you are connecting with the right peers, because they will recommend you. You will know that only when that recommendation takes place and somebody comes to you and say, hey, that person recommended you. So there's the third one. The fourth one is media, right? So depending on your niche, on your industry, you need to know who are the people, journalists or media portals or podcast hosts, whatever it is, that are dealing with your industry. You need to make them your best friends, because they will invite you to give an opinion, to give a PR state, to share your experience on the podcast, be in media, and all those things. So usually people forget those things. Also amongst them, I count people who have communities, right? Who organize local events or global events or whatever it is where you're going to go. You want to connect with those people. Don't forget that audience. So that's something to think about. If you are somebody who is not posting frequently on LinkedIn, when you are sending a connection request, you want to add a note and say, why are you connecting with somebody? Be personalized and say, something that they see that there's a value in there for them. If you are somebody who is posting on LinkedIn, then it's perfectly okay not to say anything when you're sending connection request. Why? Because there's one thing, and if you say something that doesn't get along with that person, or they are annoyed by somebody else, or whatever it is, people are pitching all around with spamming each other on LinkedIn. So, with that, you avoid the possibility they reject the connection request. So what I recommend, if you know who you are connecting with, like their posts, add a comment here and there, and then set a connection request, because they will already see you in the field. And when the connection request comes, they will say, okay, I know this person, right? And what I usually recommend to the people, if you are creating content, don't send them a welcome message right away. Leave them at least 2 weeks to consume the content. Engage with them, with their posts, with their comments, with those kind of things, and then send them a message just to say hi. Hey, just wanted to say hi. If I can help you, everything is on my profile. That second sentence, it took me 3.5 years to come up with that, but now you get it right away, because it takes people to my profile to check out what can I help them with. So those are important things to consider and to know. And any questions regarding connecting with people? No? Okay. If you have it later,
I have a question. Sorry.
Okay.
How do
Okay. Perfect.
I usually get connections from a bunch of people I don't know, or random people, or I don't know, positions, but they are not even part of my interest. So I always ask myself, should I, accept it and be like polite and not ignore them, or just reject and don't care about it? Because really, I just get a lot of followers without any value for me.
It takes time to if you're polite and respond to all of them, to reject them, right? Just we decide in 3 seconds if we're gonna accept the connection request or no, right? So you know who you want to connect with. you need to have a criteria to,
Yeah.
you know, so follow that criteria. That's it. I mean, I was the one who was rejecting people, and even at the times you stop caring and you accept people, but then you want to remove some people, and then they get pissed on you if you're active on LinkedIn. So
Yeah, I also want to remove people now. So I just
have in mind that when you remove connections, LinkedIn removes them as followers as well. So you will lose the number of followers. That's important to remember. But things that you want to measure on LinkedIn and things you want to care about are a few. And let me go short into that, and then we'll have time to go to show you the roadmap, and then comes up with the posts. So you have these analytics on your profile. Let me enlarge it. So you have post impressions, which will actually show how many people are seeing your posts in the feed. So you're in front of their eyes, and you can change it from impressions to engagement. Engagers are the people who are reacting to your post. It can go from different time spans, but you will also see how many members reacted, and also you will see which posts are top performing posts. So maybe you want to talk more about these topics and create your post in a way that they are created, right? So those are all important things. When it comes to the audience, you can see how your follower count grows, and you will see possibly that you know, like if you look at it in a longer period of time, you can see how it goes. Does it grow? Does it go long, or stays the same? Also, you can see where your audience is from, what their job titles, locations, industry, seniorities, company size, and all these things. And you can see all these insights under each post. So make sure to check that, and you want to see who is reacting to your posts, who is commenting, and who is, when you post something, coming to your profile. Are those the right people? So that's important to know, because if you are, then you keep doing what you're doing. If not, then you need to change something. You have the same things you can see about the followers. When it comes to profile views, I told you that anybody who spends 20 seconds on your profile will be visible here if you have the paid profile. If not, you will see one or two, and you need to come a couple of times a day here just to check so you don't miss anybody. You can see even interesting viewers. Do they work in a company you follow? Influencer, LinkedIn, senior leader. However, this can help you get a job. LinkedIn has their segmentations. You can see, you can even say a company and then see who from that company came to your profile. And you have tons of other features. What's interesting, for example, to me is you can check. Not here. I'll show you that in a search. But in a search, you can go and find a person and see their connections. And especially if you are going after a specific position or selling to somebody, you can see their position, see who are the mutual connections, and you can reach them through the mutual connections. So check out the search. I mean, it's pretty basic if you don't have the paid profile. That's why I'm not getting into it. But if you have a paid profile, it's actually really good, because LinkedIn has the best targeting and segmentation of all the social media platforms out there. So there is one more thing, and it's extremely interesting, and it gets us, how do we check, did we talk about the right things on our profile and in our posts? And it's called search appearance. We talked about keywords. Also, I forgot. So now I'm saying it, add keywords inside your work experience as well in the about section as well. So make sure that you have the right keywords. So now you can see what did people search for and found you. So for me, for example, they look at chief executive officer, personal consultant, director, buyer, chief operations officer. It bugs when you post a lot. So it takes also keywords from the post. But here you can easily see if that's what you are aiming for. You know, when people look for CEO, do they find your profile or no? Also, you can see top companies where your searchers work at. So you know which company, people from which companies are checking out your profile and finding you in the search. And also top job titles as well, like who are those people? Are they founders, marketing specialists, salesperson, business strategists, authors, whatever it is? Have in mind that on LinkedIn, 80% of the people who are active are from marketing and sales. So that's something that is non-negotiable, and that's something that you should know and think about. Now, I'm gonna use this to share with you in the chat. Make sure to copy it and use it as an example to craft the roadmap for yourself. I think we can go through the post, so we do everything in time, but I'll use this as an example so you know what you need to do over here. Oops, I'm sending it to Ivan and I need to send it in the chat. Let me just see how I'm doing that. Okay, let me stop sharing for a moment so I can share it here. Okay, I didn't use it for a long time. But even I'm gonna send it to you, and
you can send it to me. I can share it to everyone.
you can reshare, but I can't. That's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know why, but I have an option. So we'll send it to you. We'll send it to you after the call, and now I'll just proceed to show you what's in there. Okay, so I call this a roadmap. I created it with one of your peers, a person who was the head of internal communication in NIS Gazprom Neft. And we start with a goal or with a vision. Before you get to LinkedIn, there are steps to go, and what's your goal and vision? Those are all difficult questions and important ones. When I gave it to the people, they say, but we never ask ourselves these questions. But now you need to do. So what's your goal or what's your vision? In this example, we have go-to person for internal communication in the Balkan, entrepreneur, founder of the Institute for Intercommunications of the Balkan, then portal, training, certification, all of those things, and advice strategy give advice strategy for the LinkedIn for internal communications people. You also need to write your own. This is just an example. I usually use this, and you can use this for yourself as well, as three-part strategy. When it comes to what should I post on LinkedIn, you have the past, meaning all your previous experiences, work experiences, life experiences. Who did you learn from? What did you learn about? Think about all these things, and this is the content that you can create for the things that happen until this moment. Then you have the presence, which is basically what do you do day to day. Talk about these things. You get out of the meeting, you don't need to share a name or whatever it is, but you have something that stood with you after the meeting and you want to share. It's interesting, or you have a rant, whatever it is, go ahead and say it. And also there is the future. The future is basically point of view, and something that you need to have if you want to create content on LinkedIn and you want to be a thought leader, right? Thought leaders usually have new ideas and new looks on the existing topics. So what do you know that other people from your industry don't know? Think of it like that. So let me go and give you a couple of examples. The past background story, the path to the present moment, struggle with incompetent leadership at the beginning and how to overcome it. People who inspire you, also it can be present, but somehow it's related to motivation. Then the books you are reading, I don't know, it doesn't have to be that complicated, right? Don't overcomplicate things. When I work with corporations, usually most of the executives says, oh, okay, I will prepare a post for LinkedIn. And when I say, for example, now it's November, I say, where is that post going out? They say in March or even later. So you get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go ahead, try out, and I will tell you why in a few minutes. The presence is basically show the moment in which you are the most satisfied with yourself. Talk about leadership, continuous learning, finding solutions quickly, help the community. You know, you have your own thing, but this is just the examples. And then you have the future when you have desires, trends in the world, in your industry that you are seeing, importance of your profession, old versus new, meaning this is how it was done. Now we are changing it and doing it differently from your years of experience. How do you see things going on? And so on and so on. And I usually like to focus on a couple of types of posts. So I'm going to tell you text posts still work. And they're something that you start with. It's the most easiest one in a way, but also the most difficult one in a way. Why? Because it's not easy to write a good copy. But if you do it, it gets better, right? Think about the hook at the start, first two sentences, you need to say the main thing and then you elaborate. What does it mean saying the main thing? It means that at least 10% of your audience need to disagree with that. So always try to have at least 10% of the people disagreeing with what you are saying. But it's hard because you don't have the photo, you don't have the video to help you support the post. Images are also perfectly okay. For example, you can talk about business as well, but share a photo from the event, from your personal life, something you took a photo while you were walking in the street, whatever it is, to explain more of that business context. Maybe this will be surprising to you, but memes work amazingly. To give you an example from today, memes, here it is. Like explaining the personal branding and what I told you that the topic was buzzing around this morning. So you can explain complex things in a simple way, but using memes and also make some people smile. So think about that as well. Also, videos work amazingly. Vertical videos when you are actually doing something and talking, not necessarily walking. I don't know. There's a guy chopping fruits. You know, those can just turn on the camera and say. But for starters, you can just turn on the camera and say something. Videos are extremely important because they are buzzing now on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is having sort of a feed just for videos like TikTok and Instagram is. And because it creates trust, people can hear you, can know, are you confident? How are you talking? Do you have the accent? All those kind of things. I know it's hard, especially for you ladies, because in my experience, it's hard for me to get female guests on the podcast because you want to have the perfect light, the perfect makeup, the perfect setup, everything. We men are more simple in that way, if you understand me. So, and I know it's hard, but think about it. You don't need to go in it now, make preparations, but it's important. Also, for some reason, still selfies on LinkedIn work because, well, I don't know, because people like to see people, right? LinkedIn is still the platform when it's people to people. No matter if it's the corporate, it's the enterprise, it's complex things, but it's still people to people. We still sell to the people and create relationships with people. So that is something that's also important and something to think about. What else? Links. If you want to share it, but make sure that when you are sharing a link, no matter if it's YouTube, LinkedIn hates YouTube links for some reason. Make sure that it is something that is published recently, because LinkedIn looks at the moment we publish things. So there are all kind of things related to the algorithm. I'm not going to bother you with that because it changes every 2 months. There is a guy on LinkedIn. We'll send you after the training the link to his profile, Richard van der Bloom, who is every half a year, I think, creating the report about the LinkedIn algorithm updates. I'll also send you the latest one so you can have it. But the thing is, create content and see what works, what doesn't. Usually it takes to nail the content for the right audience on the right platform like LinkedIn. It takes from 1 year to 2 years. But this way, if you have 3 types of posts that you are posting them like past, present, and the future, you basically have 3 per week. And if you look at it in a month, it's actually 12. If you look at it and in 3 months, it's 36. So it's not that much, right? You can write them and then just focus on engagement, but you need to comment on people, engage, because that's what matters on LinkedIn. Even it's more important than posting. Engaging, commenting, and giving value. For example, you see the post and you know that you can give additional value to the people by commenting on it. It doesn't mean you necessarily need to agree. It means that you need to give insight. Let me give you an example. Hey, Ilya, I was reading your post, and as somebody who has, I don't know, like 15-year experience in the industry and with the topic that you talk about, I totally disagree. Let me give you my perspective and tell you why did I disagree and what my experience tells me. So in that way, you're not just criticizing, you're giving them feedback and giving them the solution. You're not creating enemies, but you are also giving solutions. So when it comes to how many times you should post on LinkedIn, well, it depends on you. If you can create 1 post per week, do it with 1 post per week, but make that post be good. Work on it if it's just 1. If it's 2, 3, okay, then I just gave you the structure. When do you post? Well, check out when your target audience is there. Are they in Serbia, in Balkans? So they are in the morning. In the morning post works very well, or around 1 to 3 p.m. when also the US and other parts of the world are waking up. That also works nicely. But if it's a good hook and it's a good post and it's a good topic and something that you feel inside yourself that it's important for you, people will also react to it and algorithm will accept it. That's just how it is. Now, let me tell you, if you are engaging with people in the inbox, is the same as engaging with them in the feed. LinkedIn will show you more of their posts. So always think about that. And here, important thing is, what do? You schedule the post, then you go and comment on people's posts, then you come back tomorrow and see if they responded, and then you go on and on. I usually say, create a daily checklist. So here's an example that you can use. Comment daily on 1 to 3 relevant posts. Sometimes you have 3 posts per week that are relevant and you don't want to comment, but ideally that's how you do it. So, but when you comment, make sure that you are amongst the first one and that comment gives value to that person. So choose the people you comment on wisely. I told you those should be like influencers when you actually have your target audience engaging. That can be your target audience or something else. Let me see, there's a comment. Okay. Yes, you will get all of this. Send a connection request to at least 5 people from your target audience per day. That's what I would advise, but you don't need to do it. Just send at least, at least 10 per week. I mean, basically you should do that. I know it's not a popular thing to say, connect with people, start posts, but that's just how LinkedIn works. And usually even if we don't like selfies, I say cry and take selfies, but all of us are public people. We go to events, so we get to have professional photos from events. So use those. I also don't like selfies, but I go to events. I even accept sometimes to talk for free just to get the photos, right? Check who view your profile several times per day. If you don't have a paid profile, if you have it, wherever you check it, you will see everybody that came to there. And also, if you see that those people are the right people that you want to continue communicating with, send them a message. Tell them, hey, I saw you are checking my profile. How can I help you? Or anything else. usually people tend to be surprised because they don't realize that you can see that. And then, okay, I say, oh, okay, how does it go? And I was just with attention to do this, to ask you this, or to check some of the things from your work experience, whatever it is, but you will know why they are there and why they are checking out your profile. So think about that. Also, monthly checklist that we have. What I usually say in that's the thing that I mentioned. I don't know this, but we can mute Daniela. Okay, perfect. Thanks. So send the welcome messages to your connections. I usually told you if you are active, send them after 2 weeks, let them consume your content, then send them a message. And I usually do that once a month, meaning I get all the connections that I have with people. And once a month, I sit down and I send them a welcome messages just to say hi. Right? Sometimes they won't see it. Sometimes they won't respond it. You are not selling anything. You're just saying hi. So maybe, for example, somebody knows you and in 2 years they see it. Maybe you need them and they go to send you a message. And when they enter the message, they see that you send them a welcome message already. And then you are the one who have the advantage, right? They feel the guilt because they didn't respond or they missed the message or whatever it is. But always build relationships. And I always say, be kind. And now let me share with you a couple, you know that you can save posts, right? This is the option to do it. You can add them to the features section of your profile and don't limit who can comment on your post, but when you save the post and when other people save your post, they give the algorithm a hint that you have something valuable to say, right? You can find them here and you can see saved posts and articles, right? It's not that user-friendly, but it is what it is. And I want to show you how others are posting those hooks at the start. So this is, for example, the instruction about LinkedIn, how you can niche down your LinkedIn simplified. And then they don't use brackets, they use emojis to tell you what to do. So always think about that. How can you make it more intuitive for the people to react? Use emojis for that. How should we define an MQL if not all these actions? My step-by-step guide to uncover leads in a peer's LinkedIn network. And guess what? This method is 100% free on LinkedIn. No sales navigator required. See how they are making you click to read it, to see more, to continue consuming the content. Paul has an amazing homepage. Here are the 4 reasons why. And all of those things are important. Save the posts and then use them for yourself when you are creating the content. Now, let me show you one tool that I want you to recommend you to use. I don't have the affiliate anything. It's woman from Serbia called Ivana Todorovic. For some reason, people from Serbia are building tools for LinkedIn. It's called AuthorDAP. This is it, just so you know. We'll send you the link. AuthorDAP, it's you can try it for free, but it's paid thing, and basically it increases what you can do with LinkedIn. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. So when you click to write a new post, it serves as an extension in Chrome. So basically, when you enter it, you can start writing posts, right? So you can even bold some of it. You can add bullets. You can add from numbers, whatever it is, or you can even create. Let me show your effects like this. So like stairs, like these, like these. Yeah, you probably saw them on LinkedIn, and this is how you do it. But the most important thing is when you write a post, you see here the grades. It goes from 1 to 10, and as basic as simple you can make your post, it will be more visible. and more people will react to it. So this is how you get your instruction. Do you need to simplify the post or not? You can see the preview, how it looks like from mobile and from laptop. You can see, you here have all the hooks that you can use, the templates, the endings, also the call to action. And you have the snippets. For example, I want to add to the post this snippet at the end of each post. I'm Nemanja, I do this, connect with me for that and that, those kind of things. So you can also schedule the post, but you can do that now with LinkedIn as well. So you're not breaking any rules when it comes to LinkedIn for that. They also have a dashboard, which I think is amazing. And if you're serious about growing on LinkedIn, you should consider this. It shows you how your week is performing, compares this week to your other weeks. It shows you how your best week looks like. It shows you your typical week, number of connections and followers. It should go like, if you have, this is actually a good number, 14,000 connections. It's related to 27 people following me. So you need to think about that relationship between connections and followers as well. You can see your recent posts, how did they perform? You see it's visually nice. You can actually envision the post. It gives you also the suggestions of which post performed well and which one you can use to repost again. So you can just click reuse and you can post them again. Think about this, because on LinkedIn, everybody forgets things after like 3 months, they forget, and you can post the same things again that perform well. Also here, you can also see all your drafts. You can create drafts. You can see the post that you posted, how the calendar looks like. You can see all the posts that you posted. So you can search through your posts, depending on a year, depending on a type of post, those kind of things. And you can do the same for all those posts that you saved. Basically, you can download in an Excel sheet, in CSV, all the posts that you save from other people. Did I miss something? Any questions? Okay, so what I want to say and what I want to end up with, let's make an action. I would like us to do that. If you heard at least one good thing here on this workshop, let's help you create a post. Let's write. I will add in the meantime, I will share you the link to this that we talked about. Everyone in a meeting. Okay, here it is. We'll send you over the email as well. But make a screenshot or talk about one single point that you heard on this workshop, and let's help you create at least one LinkedIn post. I think that's not a big effort. You can talk about different things as well, but I'm just giving you a nice little topic to include and to talk about, and create this roadmap. Feel free to message me anytime. If you need help with it, if you need somebody to look at it, to see if you are doing well, if you are coming up with a post or you arrange your profile and you need to get a feedback from somebody, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. I'm always responding and I will give you the feedback. It takes me a couple of minutes. So it's not that big of an effort, and I'm always okay for doing it. But try to be active on LinkedIn, at least when you're coming to events, when you're doing things, because there are people from this region, especially because it's like most of the people are from this region, struggle because they don't have the previous experience to learn from. So they can get results and the whole market can move on fast. And if all of you who have a lot of experience are willing to share from time to time, something specific, it will benefit you and it will benefit a lot of other people. So any questions?
Okay, if there are no questions, let me just wait for a moment to see if someone wrote something.
No.
I believe no. So if there are no questions, thank you, Nemanja. Thank you for sharing these amazing insights about LinkedIn and personal branding. Your experience, of course, given us a lot to think about in the next days and apply in our LinkedIn. I actually was trying to apply something already during the call, so
Nice.
it was really insightful. Thank you, and of course, thanks to everyone joining us today for to learn more about this topic. Hopefully, you all enjoyed. And before we wrap up, just a quick technical note.
Just a second. We have a question in a chat. Someone once said to optimize on the job applied for on LinkedIn, one would always have to tailor their profile to the job. Is this correct? Well, yes. If you know the job that you want to apply to, then you, I told you when it comes to the work section, have all these things that you want to, to be picked up before anybody else when you apply for a job. For example, like my profile is now kind of sorted because I'm open to accepting role in-house. But on the other hand, I'm an entrepreneur and has been an entrepreneur for a while now, almost 4 years, my God. Now, but so I want to eliminate that if I want to go in-house. I'm still not sure if I want to do it, but you want to eliminate all the obstacles that you have out there, especially in your position. All of you are in a higher roles. So you want to eliminate everything that might stand in the way for somebody to reject your application. So always think about those things.
Thank you. Sorry for missing that question. I thought we already answered this during the training. So yeah, just a quick technical note before we finish. As the voice at the beginning informed you, the training has been recorded, and we will share the recording on our social media as well and to you. And of course, Nemanja will use it in his podcast. So I hope this is okay with everyone. If not, please let us know. Additionally, of course, we'll be sharing all materials that we mentioned during the training with you. And of course, we invite you to join our Roba Network group on LinkedIn, so where we can share information about future events and other interesting information about the network. And so stay tuned for that. We'll share it all after the call. Keep an eye on your inbox, of course. We'll be updating you via email as well about different events upcoming in the next period. Make sure to follow us, of course, to stay in the loop. And thank you again for your participation. Thank you, Nemanja, for this presentation again. It was amazing. And of course, everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, je li bilo ok?
To, super je bilo, strava. I baš koristim savjeti, stvarno. Ja sam stvarno na LinkedInu bio sve vrijeme i gledao, pratio.
Pa to sam gledao da mogu da primene, da ne idem suviše u teoriju, nego da mogu da ga primene odmah. Mislim, poslije ću vam ja i prezentaciju i još neke stvarčice, pa im posledimo ceo dokument ili mail.
Sve zajedno ćemo ukijest, važi. Super, hvala puno još jednom i čujemo se. Stay in touch.
Dogovoreno, ljudi.
Hvala,
se.
Nemanja.
Ćao.
Ajde, čao.
Hvala, čao, čao.